All
Yeah.
right. What a war games that was. Some people say it wasn't that great. I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree as well.
Uh, hope your Thanksgiving was a good one. One man band. I, for one, had a great Thanksgiving. We're American on this podcast.
Yeah, same. Same.
However, with Thanksgiving gone, it is time for what could easily be some people's favorite holiday. Also, Christmas. What's your favorite part about Christmas, one man band?
Uh I'm gonna give the corporate answer because my real answer is not very pretty anymore. But the corporate answer is, now that I'm older, I like it more so because I get to be giving to other people at this point. I'm afforded a luxury now that I'm able to give to others and not really be worried about, oh, I'm gonna be broke.
Nice.
So at the very least, it definitely Christmas definitely becomes a very different um it's a very different holiday when one of your parents is gone. So in this case, it's kind of like, yeah, I can give to other people that I want to give to. So what about you, man?
For me, it's very simple. Santa's Little Helpers.
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay. I can understand that.
Hit the intro.
Welcome to TFSPOD, otherwise known as 24/7 Podcast. Yeah, 24/7 Lou, winning championship rings while Rick Hall is your conference favorite host. Yeah, you know it, the one-man band is the wrestling trivia king of kings. A dice, a wheel, another deal. The randomizer will tag in to make this feel. TFS Pod, TFS Pod, TFS Pod. Welcome to the wrestling home of super fans, where we clash with facts and master plans. Opinions soar and predictions unfold, while our championship goldie shines brighter than any other gold. Join the excitement, raise your voice. In this wrestling realm, we will make some noise. Each matching night, our hearts ablaze. United we triumph, under Goldie's shining. TFS Pod, TFS Pod, TFS Pod. I said TFS Pod, TFS Pod, TFS Pod, TFS Pod.
Yeah.
Hey everybody! It's Rick Hard, and I am joined in studio with. Oh wait, Lou's not here.
Oh no.
What a
Oh.
shame! I guess someone must have changed the studio locks. Whoever could have done that over the holiday weekend.
I don't know.
But I am fortunate to be joined in studio today with none other than the one-man band.
Hey, what is happening? Yeah, well, 2/3 of the group is here, but that's all right. We're still in the black.
Darn right, darn right, darn right. And we are going to be doing today what we call Survivor Series recap. Now, naturally, folks, we also do have some predictions to get to. We're waiting for Lou to get the locksmith here so he could get in studio. Might be a while. That's fine. But we will be doing predictions later tonight. But for now, we're going to be recapping this past weekend's Survivor Series War Games in San Diego. That's right, Dom's hometown. Give it up for San Diego.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like how I felt when I was living in San Diego 20 years ago.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. You lived in San Diego.
I did. May 2005 to May 2006. That was my last tour in the military.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, not bad.
Could have been better.
Could have been better. Okay.
Yeah, could have been better.
Sorry, San Diego. Not a good impression for the year. That said, before we get to that, because a lot happened at Survivor Series War Games. Shout out to Damian Heater, by the way. I know if he's watching right now, he's pretty hyped about this. But before we get to covering the Survivor Series battle recap and giving some thoughts on where we think Survivor Series could go. One Man Band, I believe you have a line that you can give us that everybody loves.
Yes, and it goes exactly like Rick Hard, get the scoreboard.
All right. And here's the scoreboard. It's brought to you by the TFSPOD Rackle Awards, which, by the way, folks, you have until December 23rd to put your vote in on our community post for your favorite TFSPOD hosts. Is it the One Man Band? Is it 24/7 Lou? Or is it myself? We will find out who the winner is with the finalized results the days before Christmas. In December 23rd, that's when the last day of voting is, meaning one of us in the TFS pod host chair is going to walk away with a nice golden award. I'm hoping it's me. It'll be a nice Christmas gift. But either way, vote for your favorite TFS pod host. The community post is there. We are waiting to hear from you. With that said, in first place, it's none other than Main Event Jeff at 28 points.
You there, sitting at home, acknowledge me.
Oh, Damien Heater, shout out to you guys. Darn right. Oh man, we got to give him a fan badge. We got to give him he's the audience. I think the audience member title is going to be named after Damien Heater.
Yeah,
if he keeps up the way he's going. We'll get to you. We'll get to you, buddy. That was a good showing at Survivor Series. Fucking A. Ironically, it happened in the Cena match. But 28 points for Main Event Jeff. Way to go, Jeff. Very impressive showing. Year is not over, though. Year is not over. Very important. Don't slack off now more than ever. And then behind him in second place, I can't believe I'm saying this, it's the Tornator, and he is at 26 points.
Woo! Woo, yeah.
Yeah, our sound guy really likes that clip. Oh, man. And then behind him, we have a tie for third, and it's between Osama bin Diesel and none other than the guy waiting outside for the locksmith, 24/7 Lou, and they are both at 24 points.
Yeah.
People are happy for them. Speaking of which, behind them, it's the One Man Band, and he's at 23 points.
Yeah.
With an impressive 2-point win at Survivor Series, you're making a comeback, and you're no stranger to comebacks, especially around this time of the year.
Yeah. Go figure.
So anything is possible, folks. Remember that. Anything can happen in wrestling, and anything is possible in wrestling predictions. That said, behind them, still not at 20 points. I was so close. It's me with 19 points on the board, Rick Hard. Yeah, that's rough. That is rough. Maybe this weekend gives me a point somewhere. Maybe. I think I'm just going to copy Jeff. He seems to be doing pretty good. What's that? He didn't submit picks for one of the shows. Damn it! There goes that strategy. Anyways, speaking of copying, behind me it's Playboy Raj, and he's at lucky number 13 points.
Move this man!
Yeah.
He's been absent. It's kind of weird. I guess he realized he was out of contention point wise, but still we miss him. Wherever he's at. That said, behind all of us, it's the randomizer at 8 points.
Your booze mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer.
Not the best showing for the randomizer. I think this isn't even its best year. So, which arguably means this has been a better year for wrestling. I'm not sure about that. This has been a tremendous year for wrestling. I'm not going to say it hasn't.
Yeah.
I'm not liking where some trends are going. More on that in a little bit, but yeah. That said, what's this? It's the audience scoreboard.
Here comes a new challenger!
Folks, I cannot stress this enough. Damian Heater at 11 points on the board. This is the first time ever a fan, a live stream viewer, constantly putting in picks enough to get on the double-digit points on the board. He has beaten myself. He has beaten the one-man band. He has beaten 24/7 Lou in individual shows. We're not even going to call it the audience title at this point. If this trend keeps up, Damian Heater the title's gonna be named the Damian Heater title.
Yeah,
in honor.
Might as well.
We're not gonna call it the audience title. We're gonna call it Damian Heater title.
It should. It should. He's earned it.
He's definitely earned it. So Damian Heater, very impressive to you. John Cena did not come through in that match, which is ironic given your avatar. So yeah. I'm eating crow right now. You did get the 2-point win over me. But I want you to know we're no longer rotating against the hosts. For December, as a vendetta, you're only going up against me for every pay-per-view coming forward. Okay?
Oh,
because I'm telling you right now, you may be trying to do it, but I'm telling you right now, even though you're trying to,
I am going to ruin wrestling.
That's right. That's right. No more going up against other hosts. You're going up against me for the rest of the month. All right? So I hope you're ready, because even though you've been very impressive with the audience participation and getting points on the damn board, Dominic Mysterio, that dirty Dom, costing me 2 points. I just want you to know your streak ends now, okay? This weekend, you can't keep going. You can't keep going. Hot streaks, you're not going to end up with more points on the board than me, okay? So you're going up against me, Damian. But behind you, we have Nathan Johnny Lance, and he is at 1 point. And everyone else is at 0, including other viewers like potentially you watching right now. Folks, we've got 3 events this year. Damian Heater has already pointed out 2. Final Battle and Final Resolution. Can't wait. However, you forgot, we've also got NXT Deadline happening this weekend. So we've got 3 events to do battle on. We will be doing predictions a little later. We're waiting on Lou to get the locksmith so he can get in here. Someone locked him out. right. Wave at him. You can see us through the window. How's it going, Lou? We can't hear you. The glass is soundproof, though. But that said, that's the scoreboard. One-man bands and Ricard, back to you. That's right. And before we go on, let's just look at that picture one more time. Oh, Santa's helpers.
Very nice.
All with nice smiles. Deadline as well. Can't wait for that show. That's a good show. Darn right. Although I have mixed feelings on the Iron Survivor match, but we will get to that. That said, before all that, let's talk about Survivor Series War Games. Now, One-Man Band, I know that you've only caught glimpses of it. You didn't see the full show, but what would you say was your impression from the matches you did see?
From what I did see, I was impressed. It was better than I thought it was gonna be. Particularly the Cena and Dominic Mysterio match. I thought it was gonna suck, but it actually ended up being pretty good. I will say they did good. So yeah, it was better than what I thought. Was it the best one? No.
Without a doubt, no.
But it was definitely better than I thought. So yeah, I will say not bad.
Oh yeah, I feel like the women's War Games match was one of the weaker ones we've seen in a really long time. So there were a couple points in that match where I was like, come on, like we've got to work on what we're doing here. But overall, the men's match, a little by the numbers. I'm kind of curious about that finish, about a certain someone, who that person is. But definitely the men's match was better than the women's match, and the women's match was very. I wasn't a fan of them not having the cages at ringside or on the outside. That definitely weakened the presentation, I felt. Yeah. I had my theory as to why. I think Brock Lesnar just said, I'm not being out there for best pay-per-view of the year was Evolution. I mean, the year's not over, Damian. We're jumping the gun here. Granted, we'll see. But Evolution. You know what? Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. But in terms of Survivor Series War Games, I think Dom versus Cena was actually match of the night. Even though I liked the men's War Games match just enough to be like, yeah, this was definitely an attraction. I didn't like that they didn't have the cages at ringside. I feel like that was a Brock Lesnar call. He said, I'm not standing out there for however many minutes or whatever and just like standing there looking imposing. I'd rather we just have the entrances. But yeah, I don't like that. I hope they bring back the cages next year because not a good twist. That said, let's go on to the breakdown of how this went down. Here we go. First match was the Women's War Games match between Team Rhea Ripley, or the others, however you want to call it, Team AJ Lee, Team Charlotte Flair, versus Team Becky and Kabuki Warriors, or Nia Jax and Lash Legend. So essentially we got the EO spot where she jumps off the top of the cage with the trash can, takes out 4 members. All the beef in that match, there's no way everybody would fit in the shark cages. You can make bigger cages. Come on, Damian Heater. Don't make excuses. I am 100% adamant about this. I think Lesnar just didn't want to be in the damn cage for 40 minutes or whatever doing that. He's like, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be out in the cage doing that, so I'm just not going to be in it. There was a lot. You could have done so much storytelling. They could have had the animosity between Punk and Roman from last year where, if you remember, and Jeff said this, they're going to do the spot where Roman puts his hands over Punk and says, no, you go to Sami Zayn or whatever. They were thinking Punk was going to do that to Roman this year. They didn't. He didn't. So it was like, oh, this is a nice twist. But, ultimately, I feel like the match for the Women's War Games match was very by the numbers. They really went out of their way to make Lash Legend look strong in this match. I mean, it was cool. It's kind of weird that they're doing that for someone who's in a tag team right now, because that's what Nia Jax and Lash Legend are. They're a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't sure what that was about, but yeah, Rhea Ripley still undefeated in War Games. AJ Lee got her win at War Games. Becky Lynch was comedic in this match, where she basically says that afterwards on Twitter, she was like, I didn't tap. Jessica Clark corrupted and all that. And it's just like, yeah, come on, lady. You tapped. You tapped plain as day right in front of all of us. So I do like that they're doing that. That's pretty funny. But all in all, not definitely one of the weaker War Games matches.
Yeah.
Someone said, I think it was Jeff, he said in the chat, he said NXT War Games better than WWE main roster War Games. And yeah, he's not wrong on that. He's definitely correct. I agree on that. So there's a lot of that. And so yeah, that was my thoughts on that. Not a great match. Opener was a little weak for the show. All in all, the only person they really went out of their way to try to make look strong was Lash Legend, and it was whatever. She's got the size, she's got the intimidation, but next to Nia Jax, it looks like nothing. So, anyways, that was a consensus pick. Damian Heater also got a point on that. I got to do an audience scoreboard, but I keep getting a little lazy because he beats me, so it just deflates all my energy. But I know I shouldn't say that on air, but winning energizes me. So when I lose, I'm like, damn it.
Like, what?
Damn it. Anyways, everybody got a point on this match. Moving on. Match of the night, arguably. We had Dom Mysterio go up against John Cena. Singles match for the WWE Intercontinental title. And weakest match on the card. Well,
I would say that one was probably the most predictable one.
It was the most predictable one, yes. I don't know if it was the weakest one. Compared to War Games, maybe, because War Games at least can have the attraction feel to it. But I think Stephanie Vaquera and Nikki Bella actually went pretty hard on this one. The Devils We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Look, let's not take away from Cena versus Dom because this was a masterclass. Let me tell you, from the start, and everybody was telling me this because I said I just don't see how Dom could win, and people were saying, "Well, he's not going to win clean." And from the start, the match gave no doubt that Dom was not going to win clean. He had Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez get involved from the start. They were pulling Cena's legs. They were punching him in the face. At one point, Dom faked an injury, the Penta style, so that both Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez could come in there and hit their finishing moves, the Chikonga bomb, or Tahana bomb, and and the Pop Rocks.
Yeah.
Damon, you don't need any extra points. Okay. And by the way, Jeff called that too. He did call Liv Morgan returning.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so credit there. Hey, Liv Morgan did return. They had us go in there with that finish, but you had Roxanne and Raquel hit Pop Rocks and the Tahana bomb. Dom got back in, hit a frog splash, or rather the 619 followed by the frog splash. The referee wouldn't count the pin. He's like, "You're out of here," to Roxanne and Raquel. Cena got back in. You had he tried to do the 5 moves of doom. Dom blocked the shoulder tackle, ref bump. We saw then JD McDonough and Finn Balor come out, and you saw Cena hit what was basically the easiest double AA on both of them.
Oh, yeah.
Because Finn and JD are basically 2 very thin guys. Still impressive. Nothing against John here, but definitely not nearly as impressive as when he hit it on Big Show and Edge at WrestleMania that time, because I think Big Show weighs more than JD in that. Best part of the show at Survivor Series, in my opinion. Okay, Liv Morgan. So I have it on good authority that Liv Morgan's actually a John Cena fan. So it was really funny that she basically got to jump in John's arms, give him a hug, and all that, big smile, all that stuff. You know, that's got to be like a dream of hers. She's like, "Oh my God, I got to hug my hero."
Yeah.
And then she got to kick him in the balls.
She did. She laid it in there good too, man.
Yeah. She went for the kick in the balls. Dom drop toe hold Cena on the ropes, hits the 619. Liv hits Cena with the title, scurries out of the ring, hides the evidence. Ref gets back into the ring just in time for Dom to hit the frog splash. 1, 2, 3. Dominic Mysterio, 2-time IC champ, and 2 belts once again. He walked away with both titles and the girl. Very impressive. And Dom gets to say that he fought Cena at his last PLE, last pay-per-view, and prevented Cena from tying the record with The Undertaker for 101 PLE victories. Very, very cool. I was wrong, but I'm not ashamed to be wrong. That was a great presentation, great surprise. Liv Morgan, best part of the show at Survivor Series, in my opinion. Your opinion? I liked it. I liked the moment too. I think that moment's going to be legendary.
Yeah, I agree.
With a good, they had us going in the first act when Liv came out and slapped Dom in the face. That was surprising. That was surprising too. But
yeah.
And I think it's funny that the guy with the John Cena avatar got the win over me because John Cena lost. Is this John Cena? Did he pick? Did you, Damian Heater? Are you John Cena? Did you pick Dom to win because you knew John Cena that you weren't going to win? Because that's insider trading. Okay, so you have to disclose that. I'm kidding. That said, that's the scoreboard at this point. One-man band, Jeff in the lead. There was a chance for Tornado to tie and the randomizer technically. But yeah, that was crazy. Big lead for Jeff and one-man band there. And then we get to what Damian Heater calls the weakest match of the night. So this, I won't call this the weakest match of the night, only because, and this hits on a personal note, my first niece, this was who's less than a year old. This was her first match that she got to watch. I got it on video. I got it on photo. First niece's match. She got to see Stephanie Vaquer beat Nikki Bella. She got her. And I gotta say, she was actually pretty quiet and just watching intently, like, oh, that's so cute. It was so adorable. But yeah, Stephanie McCare got the win. Not a lot to talk about here. It was a singles match. They did put it all out in this match. I think they put on, for what it's worth, they put on a good match. I don't want to take anything away from these two girls. These two women put a lot on the match. The Devil's Kiss on the announce table was really cool. Nikki Bella actually tried really hard to sell the move because she took it twice. Once on the announce table, once in the ring. She worked really hard to sell the move, and I thought that was really cool. So Stephanie McCare retained. Predictable outcome. Kind of expected. We weren't going to see 2 title changes at Survivor Series. So, yeah, really cool match. And then that was the scoreboard at this point. Stephanie carried Nikki through this match.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give you that one. Yeah. But how much of that is ring rust? You know, Nikki hasn't done this for a while, except for the handful of times recently. So yeah, I mean, what were we expecting, right? I think it's fine. I think it's fine that Stephanie won and Nikki wasn't. She wasn't calling the match. She wasn't carrying the match, but at least Nikki was there and she put her best foot forward in this match, or at least what she could. So I'm not going to take anything away from Nikki Bella on that one. And then here comes the last match. Oh, what can I say? What can be said about this match? So, for starters, I'm glad my boy Drew got a win in a War Games match. Finally, he's no longer however many matches in War Games. He got a win over Roman Reigns in War Games, of all people, so that's even better. In terms of this match itself, there was a very scary moment, and I don't know if One Man Band you want to talk on it, where Braun Breaker took the electric, the Doomsday.
Oh yeah,
Doomsday device and landed very awkwardly on his head.
I heard about that, and I did catch it. But I mean, he did well. He did well, and he ended up actually finishing the match. He's the one that
started it. He started it. He finished the match and got the pin.
He got
was the one that made the cover. Yeah,
and he got the pin against the champ.
Yeah, CM Punk. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
by the way, for those that don't know, CM Punk came out with a jacket that said Larry's dad, and he obviously was he was doing his whole pumping his chest and stuff like that. Turns out
His
Larry,
dog passed away.
his dog passed away. So that was maybe his dog was like on his last moments when he went out there, or maybe he had already passed. But either way, it's really sad that Larry passed. Larry was a big part of his life, and it's hard to lose a pet. So my heart goes out to CM Punk and AJ, because I know they love that dog. But rest in peace, Larry. Apparently Larry was a legend from what they were saying. A lot of wrestlers from WWE and AEW have been chiming in about Larry, so that rest in peace to Larry. But Damian Heater, what he said, can we talk about the mystery man that attacked CM Punk? Yes, indeed. We did see a gentleman dressed in all black come into the ring, do a pretty nifty sidekick.
The kick to a kneeling Punk.
Yeah.
Very Seth Rollins-esque.
Very Seth Rollins-esque.
Followed by a stomp.
By a stomp, yeah. Which
with
obviously
with a quick glance to Braun Breaker right there before climbing up the cage and leaving. Which is a nice little homage. Now I want to dispel one rumor. I don't think that was Kevin Owens.
No, I don't.
I've been seeing that online. I had a conversation with Jeff about this. Jeff said the same thing. He's like, that does not have the build of Kevin Owens.
Yeah, at all. Not even close. I think even Kevin Owens would be like, come on, man, really? But
are we blind?
Yes, I know that everybody is pointing towards Seth Rollins, obviously because of the moveset. But I don't know if you've seen this, Rickard, but I did actually see a couple of clips that have surfaced, and one of them was it shows a close up of the perp in the audience and looks at the camera for a moment and then just goes off. Well, they freeze frame the moment he's looking at the camera, and the camera, the person has a bunch of black makeup on, kind of like if they're camouflaging. But I did see the eye color, and I did see the eye shape, and it's very, very similar to, yes, where Damien here just said Austin Theory. Yeah, I have a feeling that it could be Austin Theory. I have been hearing some things about him lately that they were thinking about doing a push for him, and I think this would be great. Honestly, I think this would be a great way to get him back in.
Triznek. Whoa, where is Lou? He's outside the studio. He's waiting on the locksmith. Somebody change the locks. It's funny because he can't hear us, but he can see us through the window. So all he sees us is looking at the screen, laughing and like just having a grand old time. Well, how's it going, Lou? Yeah, he can't hear us either, but unless he's tuning into the show. But
so since he can't hear us and he's outside of the studio, and we're inside the studio, wouldn't we
leave him out there?
wouldn't we be able to let him in?
We could, but I don't know. We have when do you think the mystery man will reveal? So I've been hearing all right. So Jeff, all right, well, you know what? We see your question or we see your statement, and we will oblige for now. That's it. When do we think the mystery man will reveal? Jeff told me he thinks it'll happen January 5th, the first Raw. With
that makes sense.
January 5th, where Braun Breaker fights CM Punk. We'll see the mystery man get involved and potentially cost one of them the match. So here's my theory on this. So no pun intended.
Nah.
So it could be Austin Theory. It could have been anyone under that mask. However, is it Seth? In actuality, no. Seth's healing from a shoulder injury. However, in storyline, it can be anyone you want it to be. So you can just have someone under the mask filling in for Seth until Seth's ready to go. And then like months from now, you reveal, hey, it was Seth this whole time. How does that make sense? It doesn't, but wrestling, right? That said, I'm gonna say that this is a story where we're probably gonna see the mystery man get involved again at the title match on January 5th. I don't know if we'll get a reveal, but we're gonna start seeing Punk, especially if he loses the title. He's gonna start making accusations that Seth has been faking an injury, or rather, Seth has recovered from the injury faster than he's saying, and he knows that he's the one doing this, playing mind games, all this other stuff. So he's gonna start feuding with Seth again in promos, and Seth's gonna be like, look, dude, it's not me, you need to get over this. And it'll probably reach a point where, you know, the mystery man, if Punk doesn't lose the title to Braun Breaker at January 5th and has to re-enter the Rumble, expect CM Punk to get thrown out unceremoniously by the mystery man, who will appear, throw him out of the Rumble, and then leave just to screw with Punk even further. That's what I'm thinking. I think, what if it is LA Knight? Wow. I mean, that's a heel turn if I ever heard one. What a heel turn that would be. I'm giving Leave Him Out There a star. Yep, that's getting a like for me. What if it's LA Knight? Man, if it's LA Knight, way to go. I mean, what if it's anybody, right? What if it's Matt Riddle? It's not. What if, right?
Yeah, I think he's done.
Could be anybody. What if it's Adam Cole? It's not. What if it's Dean Ambrose? It's not. What if it's Kofi Kingston, who wants to run at the world title again? What if it's, you know, it could be anyone, but some people would say
it should be me.
Dolph Ziggler. It could
That'd be cool.
That's the cool thing about a mystery. It can be anyone, including LA Knight. It could be Seth Rollins himself. It could be Vince McMahon, and he gets revealed, and he says, "It was me, Punk. It was." Oh my gosh, Trisnek called it. What if it's Vince?
That would be funny, bro. That would be so funny.
It would not make sense, by the way, because Vince physically can't move that way anymore. But if they still do that just to replay the meme, what if it's Shane McMahon and he does the meme? He takes off the mask. He says, "It was me, Punk. It was me all along for you saying you're best in the world when I'm clearly the best in the world." We finally get Punk versus Shane at WrestleMania. Best in the world versus best in the world. Am I right? Am I right? Come on, folks. Come on. You know you want to see it. Maybe not, but I kind of would find that funny. Shane McMahon.
That would actually be funny.
Redoes the Vince McMahon meme. It was me, Punk. It was me all along.
That would actually be funny.
Oh, man. It could be anybody. It could be anyone. Who do you think it could be? Let us know in the comments section. Somebody make this a short. Editor, interns, mark it down. This could be a short, or a shirt. Sure. Since we're talking about clothes. That said, those are the winners for Survivor Series War Games. Way to go to the one-man band and main event Jeff. And, of course,
thank you.
to Damian Heater, who also got 2 points at Survivor Series with 4 points on the board with Jeff and the one-man band. That said, coming up next, that concludes our predictions recap for Survivor Series. We've got 3 predictions to go through coming up, and it's for Final Resolution TNA happening in El Paso, Texas. Then we've got Final Battle by ROH happening in the Galaxy Con. And then we've got NXT Deadline happening this Saturday. So we've got a bunch of predictions. Are we looking for a new host? Submit an application. We got a free host chair right now, so maybe. That said, join us. We're going to be doing the live stream in a little bit. Lou, it looks like somebody pulled up in a van. It might be the locksmith. Give him a couple minutes, and he'll probably get on. We'll see. That said, that's been our Survivor Series recap, folks. We look forward to hearing you. Can't wait to get some more points soon. You're going up against me, Damian Heater. We'll see. But I like that. I like that energy. That's been our Survivor Series recap, folks. We're gonna see you in a little bit for our predictions battle. That's gonna be a wrap. Play us out, editor. We want to hear the theme. What a show.
Yeah. All right. Not bad.
Standing outside the studio.
The one-man band is laughing at Lou's face because he can't get into the studio.
Man, we got to do a new closing theme right now. Hey Lou.
Yes,
Don't worry. We'll think about it.
And Lou can't get into the studio. Yeah, he can't.
He can't get in the studio.
Super friends.